You think you know about relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good. Nah. But it'll get you better. You need this medicine. Yeah. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space aliens. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Manschool202. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Hey people, let me get a thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear me. Let me get a thumbs up in the chat if y'all can hear me. Please. Please, I gotta be polite. Yeah. Thumbs up. Let me get a thumbs up if y'all can hear me, baby. Anybody who's in the chat, please. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me get a thumbs up. There we are. That's what I want to see. What's up, my people? What's up, my people? We're going to let it fill up a little bit. I'm going to talk a little shit in the meantime until we everybody gets a chance to get on live and chip in. How's my people? My people doing good? I hope everybody's good, man. I hope everybody's doing great. It's dope. I'm happy to be online. I'm happy for y'all, giving me the respect of checking me out, listening and asking, let's put the numbers up. How about that? Bam! See if the phones is working. Somebody call me and be and say what's up, just to say what's up. How about that? I'm gonna put the banner. Y'all can see the number on the bottom. Anybody want to call in, call in. I'm feeling good today, man. I had a good day, got some rest. The stem cells is kicking. My back's feeling better. I couldn't even move my arm above my head, so I'm doing that. The numbers are picking up. People are coming in. This is dope, doper than dope. Sucking y'all motherfuckers is the best fans ever. The phones are open. I'm taking calls. You know how we do it. Ask me anything. Men, women, who's ever in the live, you can ask me whatever you want. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. I think we're gonna do, maybe we'll do an hour, maybe do an hour and a half. We'll see. We'll see how the questions are coming. Y'all remember, keep in mind, you know, there's a lot of people trying to get on. So when you ask your question, just hit me with the, you know, if I cut you off and we, you know, if I cut you off and we, let me shout everybody else who's in the chat. Madara, Old Boogie, Man of Love, Yav, J Mays, Dante Butler. I like that name. Xavier. We got a call. Let's get it. Let's get it. Make sure y'all speak loud and clear, please. What up? What up?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
What's going on? Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Dante, it's Ted.
What's going on, Ted? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
I'm good. How can I help you, brother? How can I help you?
I'm 37. I've been following you for a while now. Some really great advice that
Thank you,
you've been providing
man.
us
Thank
all
you.
these years. You know, you guys, you are definitely a blessed world, and you provide us with so much knowledge to try to be better.
I appreciate it, Ted, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. If y'all, whenever I hear that, it makes me feel like I'm doing the work that needs to be done. How can I help you, though, bro?
No. So, I've been on the dating scene for a while now. Made my mistakes. No one's perfect. Definitely not me as well.
Right.
And right now, I just been primarily just focusing on myself and just, you know, doing better, getting my finances up and stuff like that. But
Okay.
it just seems like right now, I just not in the mode to like getting to know someone, like giving them the time of day. Like I'll go on to these dates and I'll do the work to try and get to know them, but then I just get easily disinterested in them.
Well, okay. So, what's that? Malcolm Gladwell. You know, Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours, right? So there's an interesting thing that a lot of times the practice that we do is not fun. You know, in fact, the practice that makes us good at something is the individual solo practice when we're working on something. Like for instance, if it's a guitar, you're working on an arpeggio or something like that. I mean, I've talked about this plenty of times. Is how, you know, when I learned how to fence in ninth grade. I'm not ninth grade. I was like 9 years old. I didn't touch a weapon for 6 months. I just learned how to walk in the unguard position. So I get that your disinterest, but I mean, you got to understand that this is all practice, and any practice that you do is gonna prepare you for the future anyway. So I think what we got to look at is, the fact that you're disinterested might be a blessing in disguise, because of the fact that you're disinterested, which means you don't have the approach anxiety, and basically you're not worried about losing because you don't really have a vested interest in the first place. It's a great time to observe your mistakes when you're not at risk of losing, or emotion is not a governing factor. Does that make sense?
Exactly. And, you know, the point of you like stating your non-negotiable and never negotiate on them.
Right.
Is very, very much the key that I've been trying to do and trying to practice more often than not. Because it makes things a lot easier to approach women and, you know, also laying the bricks.
Yeah.
giving compliments out to women that you're not even interested in, and just saying, "Oh, that's a good color nail polish that you have on, or what perfume you got, smelling all good and all stuff like that." But that's never been the problem for me. It's just like me having the motivation to just keep on doing it and trying to find someone,
Right.
and going through the process. But
Well, I
as you
mean, I
stated,
think the other part of it is too is I think you can't be you also have to be in. Can you hear me still, Ted?
yeah, I can hear. I can
Yeah.
hear you. Yes. Yes.
The thing you have to keep in mind is that the fact that you are that you understand what the goals are, practicing them, right, is really important. I just want to say when you give these compliments, you are being sincere. Yes.
Correct.
It is not. So there's an interesting thing when anybody who's like laying the 5 bricks and they're trying to get to that point, they don't really understand the importance of the honesty or the significance of being honest, because the significance of being honest is really that I don't think we always understand how important that is, because what happens is moreover than not, we're not honest. I mean,
Correct.
99% of the guys who I consult with, just I'm gonna drop this DanteNero.com, click on consult. I'll put that down in the scroll for consultations.
Everyone, please, if you have the opportunity, please check out Dante. He is a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. But the everybody who consults with me, most of the guys who are going to call on tonight, they're liars. I mean, I mean, everybody has some level of untruth, but we
Right.
lie anyway. So I'm going to explain this concept. I mean, is there anything you wanted to ask other than that, or?
One other thing is my honesty for some reason, and it could be me because I'm also at fault. Like my honesty might be a little bit too true and might hit too hard on the
Well,
opposite sex.
Well, I mean
Because
that all depends. I don't think they ever. I mean,
Does-
I don't think you need to be brash. But give me an example.
correct. Okay, so
Yellow, Ted,
hello.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear you. I'm
I'm
sorry.
okay, no problem. I was having a conversation with one of my female friends, and she was talking about this cheater show on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like Cheaters, where they have actors,
Yeah.
go after their significant other to see if they'll cheat on them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And
Yeah,
and she was telling me, well, y'all niggas, this, that, and the other, always go after the actors, this, that, and the other. I was like, but also women do it too.
yeah,
And she just flipped out on me saying, "Oh, you're a misogynist. You
yeah.
say this
Well, that's
thing- you
okay.
say this all the time."
So let me give you another little tidbit. I don't know if you've ever heard me talk about RFF, reasonable, fair, and firm.
Correct.
It's a check. So if you don't know if you're on the right side of history, it's a real quick check. Reasonable is the statement that you made. Is it reasonable? Right? I don't think it's not. I mean, I don't think you would have said it's not. Right? Is it fair? Is it fair to assume that women do things to men and men do things to women? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And is it firm about the fact that do you actually believe that?
Yes.
Then the problem is not you, it's her. So if she's what she is triggered by something that you have no idea about, that's arbitrary, that she's triggered by it. Did the conversation go any further than that?
Well, then she stated that I needed therapy. And,
and how would she know that?
Because she did the work supposedly, which obviously is not the case.
Okay,
And,
so in other words, let's say this out loud. You said women do the same, women do that as well, and she was triggered and lost her mind and basically said that you have mental illness to some extent, right?
correct. And I hate women.
Yeah,
So,
well, yeah, that's not your homegirl. I think you need to understand that too. That's not your friend.
yeah, correct.
I mean, I hate using that word gaslighting, but that's the definition of gaslighting.
And this isn't the first time, and you always state do not let things. You allow things. Once you allow things happen to you the first time around, it's going to happen again. And the first time around she did this to me, she said I hated black women.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then you need to get rid of her. She's not a friend. And anybody that's in your life, especially when you're trying to sort things out in your life, that's not somebody who wants to see your happiness. That's somebody she has her own stuff going on. I would create distance from that as quick as possible. You feel me, Ted?
Yeah,
It's
I understand.
waste of time. I would imagine that the relationship has no redeeming qualities anyway. So I could tell by the way, because the whatever somebody's constitution is, it respectively, it shows itself over and over again. So this is the second time. If you hang out with her again or you spend time with her, there will be a third.
Correct.
You know? Do we not have audio? Y'all hearing me out there? Thumbs up if y'all hearing me. Ted.
Let me check the live real quick.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Okay, Ted, man, thanks for calling, bro. I'm gonna take the next call. All right.
Thank you, sir, so much. Many blessings to you and to everybody that you hold dear to you.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Later.
Have a great night.
Later.
From
Hey, hello. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Dante. This is Frank.
Hey, what's up, Frank? How are you, brother?
Good, man. So
I'm gonna ask y'all to talk loud so that if anybody that's on the live, can you just give me a thumbs up that you can hear the speaker? Give me a test one, Frank. Give me a test 1, 2, 3 from your end.
Test 1, 2, 3.
All right, just everybody, give me a thumbs up if that's cool. Anyway, Frank, how can I help you, bro?
Yo, man. So I got caught, man.
Okay.
I got caught by a female who had 3 kids.
Okay. When you say you got caught, what do you mean?
I fell in love, man.
That's not. I mean, everybody falls in love. Is it a problem?
Kevin.
Huh?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
Hold
press
on.
2.
Is that a problem, Frank? Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is that a problem? I mean, I'm not sure.
It is.
Why is it a problem?
Now, I acted goofy, man. Like, I got in my feelings, and I broke it off meaningless because an ex came back, and I just let emotions ruin the whole thing.
Okay, so you fell in love with this girl, but you didn't. You don't want to be in love with her? Is that what you're saying?
I do. I just don't think she wants me anymore after that incident.
She won't, or you don't want to?
No, she won't. She won't. Like she's acting too distant.
And how long is that? How long ago was that?
How long it started acting this way?
Yeah, I mean, since y'all broke it off, and then she's not.
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, are you still trying to talk to her or no?
She talks to me here and there, but it's very distant.
Yeah, okay. Well, stop talking.
Yeah.
You got to stop talking. Yeah. So listen, do you want to be in this situation with these 3 kids?
I would if it worked out somehow.
Yeah, it's a yes or no. Do you? We can't say it's going to work out until it works out. Yes. So there's a yes. So, but here's the first thing you got to understand. If you're talking to her and she's being distant, you have to be clear, like understand. So you understand what your negotiables are. Sometimes you have to ask yourself what those negotiables are. The negotiable is that you're not going to keep chasing somebody with 3 kids. First of all, to be honest, she should be dancing around the fact that you want to be involved with somebody with 3 kids. Because what you're taking on, there's no way as a man, if you're a decent human being, there's no way that you're not going to be involved with those kids to some extent. Is the baby's father still around?
Yes, he's actually good friends with me after this.
Okay,
he's telling her the same thing.
So there's so much shit that you got to deal with him, you got to deal with her, and the fact that she's not being definitive about you coming back, then you gotta cut it loose. When I say cut it loose, is I understand that you're in love with her, but if you're allowing her to give you have to state what it is you want. Look, you say, listen, I'm a human being, and be honest about it. That I'm a human being. I made a mistake. I got a little nervous. This is a lot to take on. I understand that. Now this all matters whether or not you were credible and honest in the first place. You say, but I'm interested in moving this forward. If you're not interested, then I totally get it. And if you, but this distance that we're going through, this back and forth distance that we're going through is unacceptable to me. And
I
if
agree.
that doesn't
You're absolutely
change,
right.
then you got to let it go.
Okay, I'll just take the L and move on.
Well, you got to, you state the boundary. You give her an opportunity because the fact that you ran away, she has emotions too, even though the burden that she's ready to put, the fact that the audacity that she's giving you a hard time when she's got 3 kids and you're ready to step up in that carnival of sorts is crazy that she has the audacity to be picky. I hate to say it. That's a lot with a baby's father. Like, who needs that? You're only where this is an interesting thing because often when like God bless the no Kevin Samuels, no name above his. He would tell some chick right away that, look, you got 3 kids and you're used goods. So if somebody wants to be with you, you should be. I'm not saying if you're being fickle about it and you go back and forth, but I think it's fair. I think it's reasonable that you would have gotten spooked. It's reasonable for you to apologize and expect that you would be forgiven. But if you're not, first of all, you got to stop. You got to say what you're going to say, what the boundary is. Then observe. And then if you're observing and she's not responding in that way, then you got to walk away from it. And I don't think you have to say I'm working away from it. You walk away, and then when she calls and say, "Oh, I haven't heard from you," because you're pursuing her, so now all of a sudden she's cocky and she's being abusive. You understand?
Right.
So
yeah, it's power trip for her. It feels like.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. I understand you in love, but if somebody's doing that now, what do you think she's gonna do when you're in this relationship with her?
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, brother.
You're absolutely right.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye-bye.
We got a super chat in the building. Let me put this up. $4.99. My man from Abd Irhaman Tellis. He says, Dante, Harry often suggests to forget and move on, but your unique approach for stepping back, uncovering the insecurity turns into a score. How to learn that? Or how should I learn that? Or whatever. You got to understand there's no one step, everything fits in any situation. You have to understand that it's different for each situation. And you got to understand that in retrospect, you just can't, it can't be one. That's why I don't do I don't really do seminars and stuff like that. Even if I did seminars, it would be interesting for me because I really feel like you really got to delve into the nuance of what's going on. And that's something that I would have to teach you. So you would still, even if I did a seminar, there's things I could teach you in the seminar that you could take back to. But all of those things, I would do it in a consultation and then tailor it to you, because there's never one size fits all. It's always very perspective and nuance. And a lot of times, I have to hear what the problem is. There's little things that you say that when I do a consultation or even when I'm speaking to somebody and we're talking on the phone, there's little words that you'll say that trigger my thought process about what's going on. Phone lines are open, 929-269-4922. Hit me up. I'm taking calls, anything and everything. I'm really trying to just get comfortable doing this, and I appreciate all of y'all. There's a bunch of y'all motherfuckers online who are tuning in as I take myself to school learning these programs and stuff and how to handle this stuff. So I really, really appreciate y'all, man. It's dope. But yeah, we got a call.
Kevin.
Kevin, what's popping?
Yo, what's good?
What's up, Kev? How you doing, bro?
What's up? I'm all right. I'm all right.
Where you calling
real quick,
from?
I just want to say, well, one, so appreciate everything you do.
Can you hear me? Kev?
Loudy.
Yeah. I
To
appreciate.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press.
Can you hear me, Kev? Kev?
Okay, I think you can hear me. But
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to say thanks for everything you do. Now, my question, I'll try to make it quick.
Sure.
I've been wondering, like, with all the stuff that's happened to you, I kind of had, like, the same, maybe not the same, but, like, similar background to where, the parents and neighborhood being crazy and abusive and stuff like that.
Right.
I kind of noticed, like, with myself, like, I lose motivation or feel like I don't deserve things. So I kind of like self-sabotage, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
It's been better since like I've learned, your advice, being honest and credible and stuff like that. But there's times where like I do good and then I kind of like just stop doing whatever.
So let me
kinda
ask you
like
this:
working out.
what was the family? Both parents? One parent? What?
Both parents.
Okay. What kind of relationship did your parents have?
They're pretty nasty to each other. Lots of fighting.
Yeah. Okay. Now, were they encouraging to you, or were they so focused in their own toxic bullshit that they weren't really giving you the hugs and the kisses that you needed?
I want to say that I guess they gave me the focus, but not the hugs and kisses.
Well, okay. So let me explain to you the dynamics of this, of how we develop, right? Or at least this is my opinion. I'm no psychiatrist, but I just been around the block a lot. Picture you're a little kid, right? And the world is all new to you, right? When you do things, right? Say you draw up, or you get a crayon and you scribble and scratch on a crayon on a piece of paper. When somebody, if your mother's there and she encourages, oh, that's so beautiful, and she engages with you and say, did you try? Maybe you should put some purple in it. Maybe you should, these are the things that reinforce what our value is because we're looking at our parents for this acceptance, and when we don't get that acceptance, right, it affects us as a child, that we're not worthy. That who we are and what we are is not really important. That we don't deserve things, and you'll find that I used to tell this story all the time. I remember as a little kid, my dad was always, it's never enough. No matter what I would do, it was never enough. I remember making my bed. I made my bed on my own. Like I made it, and I was, maybe I was like 5 or 6, so it probably was a shitty bed. Right? I probably did a shitty job. But I was like, Dad, look, I made my bed, right? And my father said, oh, that's good. But as he was telling me it was good, he was smoothing out the corners, right? So even at 5 years old, I understood that what came out of his mouth was one thing, and what he really thought was something else. I can remember that. I mean, I couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 or something, however old you get to, you start making your own bed or whatever that time was. Maybe I'm a little bit off. I'm getting old and senile. But I remember that. I still remember that to this day. And I remember me thinking it was the beginning of those thoughts where I felt like that I wasn't worthy. You got me? Now, imagine you coming up in an environment where you have this toxic environment. Your dad and mom are fighting and they're at you. They usually don't have the intuitive nature to see that the things that they're doing are shaping the way your own self-perception, because you get your self-perception based on how your parents perceive you, right? So I always had this thing where when I was younger, where I didn't think it was good. What I did wasn't good enough. Even when I got, if I got a 95 on a test, even in high school and elementary, my dad would always go, well, where's the other 5 points? Like, it was just never enough. And you'll see that a lot of times with immigrant parents too, a lot. Like first generation, second generation immigrant parents, because they're on a survival mode. They're all trying to survive. Like, you come to this country and you want to survive. And so not understanding this, because, and most of the time they didn't come from that, because, it's the priority is putting food on the table, keeping a roof over your head, and keeping your belly full, So what happens, and this is how it affects us. But how old are you?
I just turned 30.
Okay, I need speak up, please, so everybody can hear you too.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just in general. I just want to make sure everybody who's on the live can hear you, because this is important for everybody, because we all kind of go through this perspective in one way or another, right? But we get this. We have to recognize that a lot of times when we perceive our parents in the way that we perceive them in the same way that we, culturally how we see it, also in a way that we're thinking about, well, how do my parents think about me, and what is my value, right? And we just take that on, right? So now you're an adult and you're not looking for this. You stop looking for this. You stop looking for this thing where their approval, but you're still looking for their approval. You know what I mean? But you don't have any value because you feel like your value is based on how your parents saw you. And this may be going on in the background, like an operating system that it's sabotaging you. So the first thing that I think that helped me was the fact that I recognized that my father did not have the emotional maturity to understand that he was affecting me in that way. But he also didn't have that emotional maturity for himself, right? So the analogy I use is, let's say, for instance, if you're a brain surgeon, right? And you're in the middle of brain surgery, and all of a sudden somebody walks in and says, hey, man, I think you should you should cut there instead of here, right? And then you, as a brain surgeon, were like, yo, who the fuck are you? And the guy goes, well, I'm the janitor. And then you would go, well, get the fuck out of here. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying you should tell your parents to get the fuck out of here. There's no reason to be rude, but you have to recognize that a lot of times that our parents didn't have the emotional acuity to understand how they fucked us up. So we got to forgive them, but we also have to stop. We have to start learning that we have to reject what their opinions are, and then do the self exploration to understand if we are worth it. So that's why ACE is so important, because you're being honest, you're being credible, you're being empathetic. I've said this 100 times. If you are practicing all of those things, right, you could not be a better human being. Two things that human beings will always have to do is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. We will always make mistakes. So when somebody is not, so what I'm saying is we have to give our parents forgiveness, but we also have to recognize that they don't have the animus to even have an opinion about who we are. We need to we need to deconstruct and be in a situation where we're assessing who we are as people, right? And then growing as a person, recognizing what our mistakes are, and our flaws and our insecurities, work on them, and then putting them to the test in real life. That makes sense?
That makes sense.
So what I'm saying is, in essence, what I'm saying is, you're going through your lack of value comes from somebody who just didn't know enough to know that they need to reinforce this little kid's life to make them feel like, as though they're important, you know? So we forgive them and we move up, but we stop listening to them. You got me?
Okay. I need to implement ACE.
And you have to take a real assessment of who you are also, okay? And be honest about it. Because if you're dishonest about it, you're not going to get anywhere, okay?
That makes sense. I could be more honest with myself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dante.
All right, brother. Speak to you soon. Thanks for calling.
No problem.
Yo, the lines are open. The lines are open. I think that's a difficult thing a lot of times. And I know this is a relationship show and it's all this, but what we're talking about is doing the work on our own, right? We're doing the work on our own so that when people do judge us, right, we can make an honest assessment about whether or not they're saying is the truth. We got a call coming in. Let me just take care of this real
To
quick.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
What's up? Who am I speaking with?
What's going on? It's Lavi,
What up, Labby? How you doing, bro? Where you calling from?
Seattle.
Seattle. What's going on? How can I help you, my brother? Hold on. It's going in and out, but we'll get you. Can you hear me, Labby?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just heard like jazz music for a second.
Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Okay. I was met this girl about 5 weeks ago and got her number, met her at this place, went on a couple 4 dates. Eventually, intimacy was kind of an issue.
Okay.
Xavier.
Hello.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
Hello,
press
Yabi?
2.
Yabi, can you hear me? Yabi. Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, you went out for a second.
I appreciate it. I cut out. What was the last thing you heard?
You said that there was an intimacy problem.
Yeah, okay. So I couldn't really she was always pretty far. She was very shy. We didn't make out a third date or whatever, the day of.
Okay.
And I just kind of I had to initiate in a real awkward way. I was like, yo, let's just get this out of the way because this is your way too I was
You
like,
mean you were honest?
Yeah, exactly. But it was such a weird 100%. 100%. I was honest. I didn't lie about it at all. I was just like, this is getting awkward.
Right.
And she was like, oh, you make it awkward. I'm like, we gotta get it out the way. So we kissed. Night of, we go out, meet again. We go back to her place. Not to fuck or anything like that. It was just her friend was there. My cousin was with me.
Right.
We made out outside, blah, blah, blah. She said some funny, that might be a relevant detail. I'll skip it just for the sake of time. But fourth date, nothing really happened. I kissed her. It was kind of weird at the end. And then she texted me saying that, I guess you read it right now. She was texting me saying, it was basically to the gist of, I'm not feeling the romantic connection that I'm hoping. Oh yeah, I'm not feeling the romantic connection that I'm personally looking for. I've enjoyed the days we went on. Blah blah blah. Getting to know you. I wish you the best. Which I appreciated. Didn't ghost me or anything.
Right. Don't waste my time. Right.
Yeah, and that was cool. But oddly enough, it had fucked me up. It was maybe a lot of other things surrounding my life at the time too. That when I fixed, I felt a lot better, and I didn't really think about that as much.
Right.
But the problem was that she fit a real specific niche that I'm into.
You mean
so
physically? Physically.
Yes, and socially, because she was an intelligent woman, smart. What's it called? Had some little I like a little sarcastic. I like someone that could.
All right, but here's my thing. What I mean, what's the question though?
So in the future, when there is an intimacy problem or the person is shy, how do I get to that point where I can make them comfortable? or like, am I always responsible for crossing the barrier? Because I never had that issue before.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
they
always
were down.
responsible for like you gotta understand that she doesn't want you to judge her. Women don't deal with rejection well. I mean, as men, we constantly deal with rejection. As soon as your inception or your attraction to women happens, we end up you pursue, right? And when you don't pursue, that's why they call you an incel, right? Because you're saying I'm afraid, and I'm not. Those dudes are afraid for the rejection to deal with, and they're also afraid to learn the skill set of how to approach. I mean, you'll find some women on some occasions you'll find women are aggressive, and the times that you'll find women aggressive are usually because you're so dope that they're aggressively pursuing you because your value is so evident. But it takes time to get like that. Like if you got a guy, like for instance, if you got a guy like Drake, right? And he is who he is, and he comes across some little hottie who is on fries at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? There's a clear understanding of what his value is, at least to her. She's clear about it and what her value is. And so she's like, this is an opportunity that I will not get again, so I need to pursue this, and I need to not let this slip through my fingers, which is understandable. But the problem with that is that because it's understandable, right? Because it's understandable, we're also in a situation where you have to become Drake-like in a sense. You have to be so confident and so dope that you create the aura, the aura that you're like. There's always a what I call there's always a situation where what they call chemistry is for you is preparation. It's paying attention. It's like you take a girl out to a dinner and you haven't had a conversation. This is why it's so important to make these phone calls. Guys, stop talking to these girls on text message. Pick up the phone. Yeah. How are you going to build this intimacy? Y'all motherfuckers want to have sex with these women, but you don't want to talk to them on the phone. Do you understand how absurd that is? That if you know what I'm saying, if you're not willing to speak to her on the phone, you're also not going to be able to read her if you're not directly speaking to her. There's nuances, things that you feel because she's giving off a subtext as well. But you gotta be confident in yourself too, But that attraction, if there's not a physical, and even if there's a physical attraction, sometimes the physical attraction won't be enough. There has to be other things. There's a series of different things. Are you familiar with the time travel?
That's what I was trying to do with her, and it's like we only ended up at the second spot before a plan of hers had come up.
Well,
we went to two. We didn't go to the third, right? And it was always hard to escalate touch because she was very far, or I felt like I had to go out of my way to get close to her.
Here's the other thing. Sometimes you get this is where the empathy comes in. Sometimes women they've been sexually assaulted or molested, or all kinds of stuff, and you don't know what that stuff is not revealed to you. But if you're time traveling and you're escalating and you're doing the things and you got that checklist and you're doing that checklist, man, it almost never fails because of the fact that it's gradual. It's because it's something that's instinctual, that you're approaching this communicative level on an instinctual level, and it just kind of builds that. It just builds the attraction. I mean, I've just found it to be that way for myself. I've also seen guys do this, and then they're in a situation where they don't they stay too long in one place or whatever, and then the night runs out or whatever. So it is what it is, But I mean, thinking you got to move quicker. You don't want her to get comfortable. As soon as she gets comfortable, you're moving. Then think about if you were a girl and some dude took you out and you was like, well, hey, we're going here for a drink. And then we're going to listen to some music. Then we're going here. From there, we're going to eat. And then we're going from the eat to we're not even going to do dessert there. We're going to do dessert someplace else. And then, or we go to dinner and then we go to, you know what I'm saying? It's just an exciting date. It would be an exciting date imagine if a woman took you out and had multiple places where she took you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fun.
It's fun. I mean, this is not just specific to women, but especially to women, because you're trying to get over that threshold. Always remember that a woman is trying to find every reason why not to fuck you, right? But once she fucks you, she has to come up she has to make sure that she has a reason why she did. Even when it's uncomfortable for her, because for her to fuck you and then go, oh, I made a mistake, is something, there's a level of accountability that nobody, that women don't want to deal with. They definitely don't want to give themselves to you and say, oh, that was a waste of time and energy.
Yeah.
Make sense?
So yeah, it does make sense. In that, so is it mostly about the nature of spontaneity and like an increased?
Well, spontaneity always is going to build attraction. I mean,
Okay.
but I mean, you don't want to run up on somebody and go boo with a Halloween mask. You know what I'm saying? I want to make it clear this is in the context of intimacy and escalating intimacy. Make sense?
Yeah, like in a romantic
sense. Yeah. And if you really want me to get into this, I mean, anybody out there, y'all want a consultation, if you want to go into the nuance of it, you want me to teach it to you, go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. You can get a consultation with me, and we'll go through it piece by piece, and I'll teach you the nuance of it, because the bottom line is it is all nuance.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, can I ask which one is the best? Is it a 15-minute slot, 30? What would you recommend as a good amount of time?
It's something that you see. This is what I'm saying. It's something that you got to feel out. It's something that you just have to do, and you'll start to know. You'll see her excitement and stuff. And
no, I meant the consultation.
I mean, I do the 15-minute because people are usually, you can't really. I mean, I always end up. Anybody who consults with me usually does the hour, because it's. I mean, I could talk to you about this for longer than an hour, but I mean, a half hour. If you really want me to tell you, the half hour definitely. The 15-minute. I mean, I understand that everybody don't have the money like that, but my time is worth what it is, and you know what I'm saying. I anybody who's even done the 15-minute. Yeah, I always look out. I don't cut you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the clock. Time's up. You're out. I just don't, because I really give a fuck about the fact that you motherfuckers learn this stuff, because it's better for everybody, but at least a half. Okay?
Okay, and thank you so much.
All right, brother.
You take care.
Later. I got a super chat I got to go over. Hold on one sec. Hello, who am I speaking with?
Hey, Dante, it's Xavier.
What up, Xavier? Hold on one second, all right?
Yep.
Let me shout out to Teddy P. Sent me a super chat for $5. Said, thanks for your advice. Dante is one of the GOATs. I was the first call tonight, and my first super chat ever on YouTube, man. Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate you, bro. You're the best. How can I help you, Xavier? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, Dante? I have a quick question, man.
Sure.
So I've been following you for a long time. Long story short, I'm about to get married. I thought I had all my game figured out, but now that I'm about to get married, I'm having those, damn, am I good enough? All that insecurity that I thought I overcame is coming back. So I was wondering if you had, if you went through that.
No, I didn't go through that. First, well, let me ask you this. So. Was your girl talking about getting married? Did she approach you, or did you approach her?
It was like a mutual conversation. Yeah.
So you mean she approached you?
Pretty much.
It's never a mutual conversation. It's somebody's idea. What I tell guys all the time, first of all, is I never tell a guy if you're with a woman and she hasn't mentioned marriage or any of that stuff, do not ask nobody, because let me explain to you why I would never ask a woman to marry me if she hasn't mentioned marriage and wasn't adamant about marriage was a thing she wanted to do. I have never in my lifetime ever met a woman who wants something who doesn't have the ability to ask for it. Okay? I mean, and when we look at all these ratchet hoes that's running around here, a lot of them are asking for more than they're worth, disrespectful, and not accountable for their own thing. As we had a call earlier where a guy was saying his friend, this wasn't even somebody that he was having sex with. She just was a friend of his. She said something about they were watching some cheaters thing online. I don't know if you was listening earlier, and she got mad at him because he said that women cheat too. So it's like there's never a situation where a woman doesn't have all of a sudden doesn't have the ability to tell you what she wants. So if you're dating her and you're pursuing her and you're sleeping with her and she's not talking about getting married, she don't want to marry you. Right? It's crazy to me when I see, a guy will do the flash mob thing, and then his girl or he'll get on his knees with this flash mob, and then she says no and then runs away. It's amazing to me. It's like you had to have been oblivious to the fact that this woman had no intention on you, didn't like you. It's a lack of empathy on your part. Because anybody will tell me, look, when a woman is attracted to you, she'll make it. Yeah. It may not be overt. And then when a woman is with you and she's comfortable with you, you're going to know everything that she wants you to know and more. More than you want to know. You feel me?
Yep.
So what is this? Yep. What is this cold feet thing? Thinking that you're not good enough? Because let me say this: anytime you get married, right, you are losing. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get married. What I'm saying is you will have to go places you don't want to go. You'll have to do things you don't want to do. You're going to have to spend money that you don't want to spend. You're going to have to listen to shit you don't have to listen to. You're going to have to meet people you don't want to meet. That is part of the package. You're responsible to be the provider and the protector and all of that. And what the exchange is for reproductive resources. Yeah. You're gonna have kids, and even if it's not marriage, if you're a girl, you still gonna have to do all the. If you're dating a girl or you're with her or y'all are exclusive or whatever, even if you're not exclusive, I say to guys whatever. And I'm an old dude, so I don't have that wolf in me like I used to. But I have never fucked somebody longer than she fucked me. Meaning, I've never had a girl get on me and ride me longer than I was standing over her. Yeah. Women don't really, they very rarely have the core strength. It's not an exercise that, it's not an exercise that they're accustomed to. I mean, we've been, think about it. We've been humping things as long, since we was little kids. We've been humping the couch cushions and whatever, right? So it's just the nature of that. And if you don't believe me, anybody who's on the chat today, that a guy will always fuck a girl more than the girl will fuck him, go Google some porn, lesbian strap-on porn, and I guarantee you can count the strokes that a girl does with another girl with a strap-on. I guarantee you can count it.
Okay.
Where I guarantee you will not be able to count a regular porn, heterosexual porn back and forth. It's the truth. So what I'm saying is you gotta recognize that I understand you're in love. I understand this is a woman you want, but understand that this is a sacrifice. And in the context of you getting married and having making this sacrifice to have a family, be a provider, you are doing shit that you would never gonna do, and you're gonna do more. I promise you. And so when you think about it, trust me, you're good enough.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
God damn. When you put it that way, I'm like, damn.
And I mean that. When I go offline, man, I mean that. Go look at strap-on pump. I guarantee you could count the pumps. You can actually count the
All right,
pumps.
gotcha.
All right, bro. Thanks for
I
calling, bro.
appreciate you. Yep. All right. Bye.
Let me go over some of the chats. DJ Sneaker Freak, what up, baby? Madara's on the chat. Couples Life is on the chat. Let me see who else. Mr. Benjamin's on the chat. Salvador Zamora, shout out to you. Diamond J, Madara, you cheated. Couple of y'all are in the chat heavy, bro. This is dope. Okay, who is it? Diamond DJ sent me a thing. Said, listen to chat. I've had a close to 50 to 56 chicks, maybe more, lost count. Nowadays, it's quality for me. Bros, if you need to get your belt notch up, get the experience. You young buck. Hold on, we got a call coming in. Bam. I'm getting good at this, y'all. It's gonna be going down. I had the graphics and everything going down
To
soon.
accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hello?
What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Ty from New York.
What up, Ty? What's going on? Talk to me. How can I help you?
Yeah, what's going on, Don? Say, how you doing, man?
What's going on?
I heard you a long time ago. I know you down with Godfrey, you know, man.
Yeah.
Thanks to y'all, man. I had a quick question for you, right?
Yeah.
Now, I just recently got out of a 5-year relationship, right?
Okay.
And it was kind of off on a little bit, not as much as it wasn't as much as often than it was on.
Okay.
And we've been broken up since, I would probably say, November sometime.
Okay.
And she ended up breaking it off with me.
Okay.
And it's like, I remember one time I caught you on the
For
show,
what reason? For what reason did she say she broke it off?
She said she broke it off because she didn't see us going anywhere.
Okay.
I wasn't moving fast enough.
When she said moving fast enough, is she talking about career-wise or moving forward towards marriage or what? What are we talking about?
A little both.
Okay.
A little both.
Right.
Like right now in my life, I gotta go.
How old are you? How old are you first?
I'm 42.
Okay.
Right now I gotta go get my shoulder done or whatever. So that's gonna take me out of my job I'm at now.
Okay.
For a little while, and I was just asking during the relationship, like, yo, let me go ahead and get this straight so I can go do something else, because I can't really make no moves until this is done.
And she was like, I'm out.
Yeah, basically, I started seeing the signs of the funniness in a relationship. Go to the bathroom with the phone type shit.
Okay.
Phone
All right.
turned over. That's like that little kid shit.
Yeah.
So
let me just say something. When you start to see that, just sort of for everybody who's in the chat and listening to live, when you start to see that, I think it's important for you to call that out. Listen, I not in an accusatory way. I see you acting shady. You hiding from the phone. We could just end this. We could end this. If you don't want to do this, we can just end this. And take your ball and go home. Because if she's doing that, first thing, if you confront that early on, what's going to happen is 9 times out of 10, if she's getting an itch, you checking her immediately. Look, if you don't want to be in this, we could just not do this. Like I'm saying to y'all guys, anytime you're in this relationship, and I don't mean I'm not gonna make this. Well, I guess I am gonna make the analogy. If you buy a dog, right? It's crazy to me that guys will buy a puppy, and they'll make a commitment to a puppy for 10, 12, 15 years, right? We know when your dog gets to be 15, he shits all over the place, and you got to carry him up and down the stairs. You got to pay for the shots. You got to feed him. You got to walk him when it rains, when it snows. You got to train him. You got to do all this. It's always interesting to me how guys are willing to make that commitment
right? Understanding what it is that they have to do on the front end will make that commitment and stick with that commitment, and then be in a relationship and then not understand the commitment it takes to maintain that relationship when you're talking about a human being which is infinitely more emotionally complicated, right? So, but you have to always be on your game. So if you're getting this distance, you need to speak on it, right? And based on the action after you speak on it, you know what's going on. Like if you speak on that and nothing changed, you got to put your ducks in a row. It's time to pack your shit and go, because that's where it's going.
Yeah, because and you're right, because I was checking that. You know, I checked her at the door about the shit, because I'm like, oh no, we flipping phones now, and you going, I'm hearing you talking or texting, like, you know, when I'm popping up on you and shit now, it's like, oh, you should, well, why you so suspicious of this, that, and other? I said, yo, man, come on, man. We both grown. We both don't play the game. Like, cut it out, man. Like, I see what you're doing here. You know what I mean? And now, it's just a front.
But this was going on, and then she dumped you, right?
Basically.
So, but my question is to you. Here's my question to you: why didn't you act when you knew that she was jumping? When you already knew there was something fishy?
I think I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to just trust my instincts. You know what I mean?
So
like,
when I talk about honesty, dog, when I talk about honesty, it's not just your honesty with everybody else. It's also your honesty with yourself. I mean, to go through a situation where you know, and the only reason why you stick it out on something like that, you know why we stick it out on something like that? Because we don't think we can get something better. And so this is why it's important for us to understand that that we gotta constantly be working on ourselves so that we're a better human being, that we are just a better human being, that we're constantly creating options. This is why you have to lay the 5 bricks. This is why you have to be social. This is why you gotta do all the things so that you can feel confident about yourself. If you're not doing that, I guarantee a woman is gonna feel your energy. And I've said this over and over, nobody's more intuitive than a woman, because she has to be. It literally means her safety. Like if she's fucking around, not checking who she's dealing with, she could get murdered or raped or any kinds of shit. So she has to be hypersensitive to these things in a way. Now, when you see a woman and she's with a guy who's cheating on her or whatever, it's not that she don't see it. She is basically going, I like this guy enough that I'm gonna overlook this stuff. I'm going to overlook it because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man, because you said something. Not to cut you off, man, but I heard you say something a minute ago. Something about, as far as your exes, you don't block them.
No, I don't block. Right.
You said don't block. But see, I heard it after you said it, right?
Right.
I blocked her on my phone, blocked her on my, like, social media, like that.
Yeah.
But I must have did something wrong, because I got one of those birthday, like, my birthday was like a couple months after. Yeah. Afterwards, and I got one of those birthday texts talking about some, happy birthday, I wish everything, you know, and I'm like, I wanted to throw up the middle finger sign so bad.
Yeah, but Doug, you can't be mad at you can't be mad at her because you saw the signs and you didn't, and that's because you wasn't on your grind. If you was on your grind, then you would have been like, you know what, this because I think we got to understand something, that where women are independent, they can make their own choices. It's a situation, they don't have to be attached to you. And so even if the relationship is good, sometimes the relationship just runs its course and it's time to move on. The thing is that you can't, whether or not you're in love with this woman or you're not in love with him, her, you gotta be honest about what it is. And if the time comes that it's moved on, you don't want to get caught up and be like, the anger happens because you're really angry at yourself because you think that she's saying you're not good enough, and what you're saying is you are good enough. A lot of times it's not that. People change all the time. The perspective of things. The one thing that you can always count on is change. And in relationships, people change what they want, how they want it. in the frequency and they want it, and I'm talking about every aspect of it. So sometimes people change and you don't fit anymore, and then it's time to move on. But if we're working on ourselves, then we don't have to take that personal. And then we ain't fuck that bitch. I'm trying to give her you know what I'm saying? The reason why I say don't block, I say don't block is because if it was somebody who you weren't interested in, it wouldn't matter whether you block her or you don't block her. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't care. You're moving on. This is okay. This was nice when it happened. It's time for me to move on to the next chapter. When you block somebody, what you're doing is you're telling them, "Hey, you matter. Like I'm still pining or I'm still opining over you because of the fact that I don't have my shit together." And you may still, I mean, I have ex-girlfriends that I still have feelings for, but we're just in a different place, and because we're in a different place, you move forward. It's kind of like, you ever see the old guy who has this, he tells you the same story over and over again because he don't have no more stories. Remember back in high school when blah, 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 blah. Doug, I'm 57 years old. I'm still making stories. You know what I'm saying? I'm still active and adventurous, and I'm accessing my life in ways that I'm still having things, living life so that I still have stories, because I believe I don't love nobody more than I love me. And that's nobody. True. So, but when you're not being who you are, there's always a question of, well, I'm sorry, I mean to overtalk. I know. Did I answer your question or?
Yeah, you answered my question, man. Because I'm gonna say you answered my questions because I know it was affecting me a little bit because I end up meeting somebody else right after that, and I thought that could get this person all the way out my system and to say F that person. But the thing was that I don't even think I had enough time to process everything that just happened because before all this, like, the signs started happening or I started noticing certain things in a sense, I was paying on a ring for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but come on, I mean, you knew what was happening. You just didn't want it to happen.
Yeah, I think I did. I knew it was happening.
We got to be honest about what it is. It's not that you didn't know. You didn't want to know. And so you marched right off that cliff, right? And that's because you wasn't doing the best of what you were doing, what you should have been doing. And that's always going to affect you. Your confidence comes from the work that you put in. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's what you got to deal with. Man, thanks for calling, bro. I appreciate you.
All right, no problem, man. Peace, Dante.
All right, later. I got a super chat. Let me see if I can push this up. Super chat from, did it show up? Yeah. Shout out to Xavier. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks for the advice, Dante. Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate you, bro. Phones are open. Let me put the number up. I mean, the number's running on the bottom either way, so I appreciate that. Call in 929-69-492. Call. Bum, bum, bum.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, what's up? Who am I speaking with and where you calling from?
It's Madara. I'm from Miami.
What up, Madara? What's going on, bro? Welcome all the way from Miami. What's the temperature out there today?
It's actually kind of nice.
All right.
I don't really know. It's kind of cold, so I'm gonna say like 70.
Okay.
70,
Yes, that sounds like you from Miami. 70 is cold. How can I help you, brother?
Nothing much. I kind of been dodging the lives a little bit. Like I could have called in probably like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Just to be credible.
Okay.
Just to be credible, because you had told me like, oh, my situation was like really random.
Okay.
Like, people go through stuff, and the advice you gave me, you was like, just go get a library card. So I felt so dishonest because I didn't know how much it cost. I didn't know if they were going to charge me if I had old books, making up random excuses.
Right.
And I just realized, I was like, you know what? let me just go and get this bus card. I mean, get this library card.
Right.
And right when I get there to get the library card,
Yeah.
I have like an instant connection with the librarian.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
And everyone's just watching me have this like natural, honest conversation where I'm like, I just need to do this.
Right.
I remember this. And the fact of just being honest and doing the right thing is so powerful. People don't understand that. Like,
yeah, it is. It's a powerful thing, and it's a powerful thing, and it's something that you don't ever want to not do. You know, that's really what happens. What's crazy about it? It really, it doesn't ever not. It's once you get that feeling and you get accustomed to it, you don't want to never not have that feeling. Let me give a little background. I know that I don't want to put your business out there, Monterey, but I know you.
I don't care. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. Well, so just for the chat and the live, Monterey was having a little problem being homeless and stuff. And what's up, Chris? What's going on? And so he's at this place where he needs some growth. He needs to get on his grind. And what I suggested to you was to go and to go to the library and get a library card, and then look into the resources of getting a job, getting an education. I have a friend of mine who actually is a genetic engineer right now, and the way he became he was homeless. He became a genetic engineer because he went into the library and he got a library card, and there was all these resources because how many people go to the library anymore anyway? And he went into these resources. There was a book of scholarships, and he spent every day writing letters and sending emails applying for these scholarships, and he got like $200 scholarship, $50 scholarship, this, that, and the other. He was able to get up enough money to go to school. Then he got financial aid. He went to he was a Brooklyn cat, went to Medgar Evers, got his degree in medicine. He studied his butt off out of a shelter, got a place, got his master's degree, got his PhD, and then after he got his PhD, went to grad school for he went to grad school for genetic engineering. And he became a genetic engineer. It was just a dope story. Somebody's asking for the Cash App. If you go, let me real quick. Give me a second, dog.
The description, I think you got it in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the description. It depends on where you're at. My Cash App is I'm almost positive if you just it's $ Dante Nero, DanteNero. Let me I'll put it on the bottom banner, the scrolling banner if y'all need it. Yeah. So man, I'm just I'm glad that you had this kind of connection, dog. It's really important. It's really important that you understand that you can do things with that, yeah, and then it can make a difference. Real quick, let me.
And then on top of that, like I just wanted to add, on top of that, like when you are doing those things, even if it's like 15 minutes, you're like, you know what, I'm locked in. I'm supposed to be doing this.
And you feel better. You feel better about yourself. Yeah.
You feel better, and you notice that you're being attractive to people.
Yes.
People are like, listen, women are getting close to you. That you're like, oh, I'm just here. I'm my situation, and I'm just doing DoorDash.
Yeah,
like, oh,
and to be honest, dog, you got to, like you see, there was a time where you had to have a gym. Now dudes is in the park doing pull-ups. I mean, that is the thing. Real quick, let me shout out Sunny Days. Thank you for the $3 the chat. The $3 chat. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks, Sonny. But yeah, I mean, there's resources that I think that we don't tap into because we don't think to, and because we're not aggressively pursuing that grind, So, bro, but I appreciate you, man. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy to see you grow. What else is there? I mean, what are we doing if we're not growing and being better? You feel me?
and trying to evolve. Yeah, what are we doing here? We're just wasting time.
Exactly.
Like you say, it's just people are just jacking off on other people. And
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Socially jacking off. Man, thank you for calling, bro. Thank you for
problem.
calling. Don't forget,
Have a
you
good
know,
one,
I will be doing the live Tuesday tomorrow at 8:32. So if anybody's there, don't forget the super chat. I'm gonna put my at least the name so y'all can search my y'all can search
I got one more
cash.
thing, Dante.
Yeah, real quick. Hit me quick.
I got a shout out for Harry. I know he's hosting, doing his thing out there.
Yeah.
So I just want him to hear that.
Okay.
I already know he's doing
Dope,
his
man.
thing.
I'll tell him I will tell him when I see him that you shouted him out, man. That's dope. I appreciate you.
Anytime, man.
All right, brother. Later. Phone lines are open, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna put the Cash App down under the name. Y'all can search for the Cash App. Scroll. Bam. Let me see. What am I doing? Benjamin, what's going on?
To accept, press 1.
Hold
to
on,
send a
hold on.
voicemail, press 2.
Hold on. Benjamin, what's popping?
Hey, what's popping? What's cracking with you, OG?
I'm good, Doug. How you? It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, man, I can't call it, man. I've been fucking with y'all for a long time, man.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
I had to call in.
That's
Yes,
what I
sir.
like to hear. That's what I like to hear. How can I help you, bro?
Well, I need your help, boss. So check this out, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me light up my cigar. So I got this crazy chick. I turned her crazy. She wants to get back together, right?
Right.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not.
Well, let's be honest. The fact if you're starting off that you got this crazy chick, I don't know why you're calling me. You've already deemed that she's a crazy chick, right?
I turned her crazy though.
You turned her crazy. Well,
part.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't even know if that matters. The point is, are you saying what? If anybody needs the Cash App, I just put the Cash App name down on the bottom. If y'all want to hit me up, thank you. Anybody, if I helped you or whatever, y'all want to hit me with the Cash App. I mean, I prefer the Cash App anyway because of the fact that YouTube takes all the fucking money anyway. But okay, so what's the deal? What's your question? I mean, you don't know if you want to, or what?
Okay, so she's that type of. So when everything was good, right before I fucked up, she was obedient. She was submissive. She would ask me what she needs to wear. I tell her what she needs to wear.
Okay, so
she
what happened?
All the things that she, I stepped out and did what I needed to do.
Okay.
I was married. Check this out, OG. I was married for 13 years. I dropped the ball. I
you were married to her for 13 years?
No. I was married to another woman.
Okay, and you were stepping out with this chick?
No. So I was married to another woman. And then after I got divorced, I played the field until I was 40, right?
Right.
And upon that, I was part of my until I turned 40. I said, "This the one I need to deal with. She's cool, but I fucked up along the way, right? I wasn't honest. I dropped the ball. I saw some indiscretions on her end, and I did what I did. But she was good all the way up until she found out.
Okay. So what's the question?
So the question is, she was solid until she found out that I fucked up. Now that I know that I don't want to fuck up no more, I know what kind of woman she was up until that point.
I mean, Doug, is she willing to get back or no?
Oh, she wants to get back. I own my own business. I do my own thing,
okay,
OG.
so here's what the deal is. You have to have an honest conversation. You have to sit down and have an honest conversation. You have to say, listen, I made mistakes. Just be honest. I made mistakes, and I realize what the value is, and I fucked this up. But I need us to move forward. Now, if we can't move forward, right? If we can't move forward, I totally understand. But we need to see, because she's not going to get over it until you set the guidelines that she has no choice to get over it. So what will happen a lot of times, a guy will have this indiscretion, and then He will, like the woman will be like, he'll feel guilty about it because this is what happens when you're not honest, right? Now, if you're upfront about it upfront and it goes down and something goes down and you have the ability to do whatever you want to do, man, then nobody can hold you. You know what I mean? But if you're being deceptive, first of all, the reason why we lie is because we don't think that we're worthy of what we're asking for.
Damn. Okay.
Be clear that if you think you are worth having multiple women, having multiple relationships, and them knowing about each other and whatever, I'm not saying that every woman will put up with that. But if you're honest about it, you give a woman an opportunity to be about that and be honest about it, and it works. Even in a polyamorous situation when you're living with two women, you give them the opportunity to make that decision so they can't be mad at you for it. And it's also a way of you respecting them in a way to saying that you are mature enough and I trust you enough to make those decisions. Now, so you have to go, like I've said before, nobody in this world, two things you will always have to do is give forgiveness and ask for forgiveness. Nobody's perfect, and so we all make mistakes. But you got to understand, if you make this decision, you've lost credibility. If you want to maintain credibility, you got to earn that back. You got to be honest about what this is. You got to put yourself and say, listen, are we going to do this or not? Now, if she emotionally is still putting your nuts through the ringer, right, even though you might deserve it, that will never stop. There'll never be a situation where she wants to get that pound of flesh, where she gets that pound of flesh and then she decides, hey, now I'm going to stop fucking him over. That situation, or you going, oh, I got to watch the Yankees game. I bet you took that bitch to the Yankees game. You know what I mean? Like, you get that where they're constantly throwing that up in your face. If that's happening, then you're not being firm. You have to set the boundaries so that you can build the trust. And the only way you could build the trust is by honestly saying, I fucked up. I want to make this right. Are you down with it or not? Can we move forward? And we're not talking about the fact that she might have these insecurities. You got to deal with that as well. What we're talking about, where the insecurities bleed over into her being abusive. And if she can't do that, there may have been too much water under the bridge that you got to let it go.
Yes, sir. Now, I had this conversation, right?
But you've had the conversation. Okay, go ahead.
I had the conversation. She's ready to move forward.
Okay.
I'm ready to clean up my act because I'm at the age now.
Well, your act should already be clean. You shouldn't be ready to clean it up. You've already done your dirt. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's got to be already clean, and otherwise you shouldn't have had that conversation. So I don't know what that means. I'm not even going to get into it. But what I'm saying, it should already be clean.
But we got to get into it. I told her, I said, hey, I'm give me about a month. I'm gonna cut off all my ties. I'm gonna do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make that slow progression. You know what I'm saying? She's all or nothing.
Listen, let's be honest, dog. It don't take you a month to get cut off your ties. You bullshitting. You being full of shit, and your lack of credibility is gonna be evident to her.
Okay.
So if you're really trying to move, you could get off the phone right now and cut all your ties.
I could.
Okay. And you're not, because you're bullshitting. And if you're being full of shit, you probably gonna be full of shit later. Don't do that. Don't do that to another human being, Paul.
No, but check this out. As far as the progression that she wants to make, she wants to be full throttle, which I have no problem with. I'm willing to allow her into my home. She has a daughter. I have kids, older kids, and a couple of younger kids, but I'm willing to make that leap, right? That ain't no problem. I ain't got no problem. As far as what I mean by cutting it off, I can cut off all my ties. That ain't no problem. I already dropped off a few of them that need to be dropped off. So what I'm saying is squeeze really worth what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Is what?
Is that squeeze, the squeeze from her that I get from her, all the affection, the attention, all the shit that she brings to the table, right? The woman that I know she is, and I seen her crazy side when I fucked up. I'm ready to move up to that point, but is her fuck up by her dropping the ball and she showing me that other side of her?
No, you caused that. You're not.
I did.
Okay, but if you caused that, then that would have never popped up. Like you're not you're not taking responsibility for this. And
I am taking responsibility.
No, you're not, because if you're saying, you saying she was being crazy, she's being crazy because you did it, right? Then the next thing you say to me is, I need a month to take it. You full of shit, dog. I'm not your girl. I'm not holding you responsible. You don't gotta lie to me, but I know it don't take. It's all a phone call to cut a bitch off.
Right.
So if you're not cutting her off, it's because you don't want to, or you're not sure, or you're not being honest about it. And if you're not going to stop. If you're not going to be honest, leave this woman alone.
No, but hold on. Check this out. I am ready to be honest.
Well, then why are you telling me you need a month to get your shit?
I told her I need a month. I don't need no month. Man to man, player to player, pimp to pimp. I don't need no month. I told her I need a month because the progression, she's full throttle. She wants to go all the way right now.
Okay.
Everything she hold on. Everything she do, she want to go expeditiously. She want to go fast.
Okay.
I don't want to go. I want to go fast on everything.
So okay, look, listen. You know what she is. You either want that or you don't want that.
No, I do want that.
Well, then you gotta meet her where she's at, dog.
Okay.
And if you're not willing to meet her by where she's at, leave her the fuck alone.
But I can meet her where she at.
Well, then what's the phone call for?
The phone call, one, is because you got some wisdom that I think I didn't have.
No.
So
what I'm saying to you is do it. You got to do it. I don't know her. I don't even know you personally. But from what you're saying to me, you're ready to do this, right?
Yes, sir.
And she's ready to do this. There's y'all. You should be working on this tomorrow.
I'm working on it now. And that's the conversation I had with her.
Okay, so what else needs to be buttoned? When did you have this conversation with her?
We had this conversation today. It's
Okay.
been going down. She kind of flashed on me this past week when I invited her over. She still has some unresolved issues from indiscretions in the past. Yes, sir. So I said we gotta let bygones be bygones. I'm ready to move forward without all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what is left to do?
I gotta do it. I gotta do
No,
it.
that's not answering. That's not answering the question. My question is, what is left to do? What else do you need to do?
Nothing.
Okay. So did you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you stalling and shit because you still got that wolf in you. Stop, dog.
See, hear the problem though, man. I get bored fast.
Well, then this is not what you want.
It is what I want.
No, it's not. If you're telling me you get bored and that this chick is gonna be full throttle and you don't know whether you're gonna be, you've been with her already. You know what it is. You know if you're ready to be right or not. If you're not ready to be, leave this woman alone.
But I'm a mama. I'm ready to be that.
You ain't ready. You're not ready because you're saying to me, but I get bored.
I'm telling you, that's aside from the fact I get bored. That's just something that I have. But I was created to be this. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit that I went through in the past, right? So
okay, so let me say this. Stop. You just said that she still has some unresolved issues. You want her to get past her unresolved issues, and then you telling me about your unresolved issues. How is that fair?
It's not fair, but see, I can let that go. I can let all my bullshit go. That's not no problem. What I'm worried about, how do I say this, man? With the shit that I went through in the past, I can get over. That's nothing, man. That is.
She didn't do it to you, right?
No, she didn't do that.
Okay, so do you understand? This is real feminine energy, dog. And I'm not being disrespectful, but you ready to punish her for something some other awful bitch did. You're taking
it wrong. You're taking it wrong. What I'm doing is that I seen shit from other motherfuckers, and including herself, right? including herself. So I'm ready to make amends with everything. That's all well and good, right? Ain't nothing feminine about me.
What's
What I'm
the
saying,
but? What is the but?
There is no but.
Okay.
So I'm just saying there is no but. The situation is, I'm ready to clean up all my bullshit. Ain't no problem. I'm ready to commit to this woman 100%, right? Even after seeing the craziness, I'm willing to make that commitment to say, hey, I'm willing to drop all my bullshit, long as that craziness just doesn't come back out. That's all I'm worried about.
The only way you're gonna know that is by giving it a shot. So there's no guarantees. Just like you didn't give her no guarantees.
Yeah.
So stop playing, dog. You know what I'm saying? You have no idea how transparent you are. If you don't believe me, look at the comments. When you get off, you look at the comics.
I will.
Motherfuckers is going, you know you toxic, you full of heat, full of shit. He ain't ready. Because it's not just me calling you. You can't, no matter what happens, this is why I talk about Ace. The truth comes out no matter what the fuck you talking about. The truth is coming out. And even the bullshit you telling me, the shit that I'm not saying that you trying to lie to me, but you lying to yourself, dog.
As far as?
As far as. I'm not even gonna go over it. You know what part of this is not true.
I'm telling you though. Hey, Dante, I'm telling you, I'm prepared 100% to say stop all the bullshit because I'm not even cut like that. Right?
It's you not. It's not me that has to be convinced. The person that's got to be
I'm not
convinced.
convincing you. I'm just trying to get I'm trying to get an authentic answer from you.
You're taking this. You're taking this. You're taking this like you're being defensive, dog. I don't have no fight in this game. What I'm saying to you is you are exhibiting feminine energy. You are exhibiting indecisiveness. You are talking shit. And it's not just me. Look at the comments. You look at I am Felicia says, man, don't know who the fuck he is. It's not just me. It's blatantly honest. What's going on?
Okay. So maybe I'm not presenting myself.
No,
correctly,
you're presenting yourself exactly for what it is. I don't need you to be. I don't want you to be defensive about it. But you got to go in your head. See, when it all is said and done, and the ceiling fan is spinning, and that shadow from the ceiling fan is whipping across your face, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You presented a situation with me. I asked you the questions that I thought needed to know, and I said, and there was specific things that you said that says to me you're not ready. Now, if you are ready, then go handle and give this woman the respect that she deserves.
And that's the part that I'm doing. My question, bottom line was, since I made her turn that craziness, and if I switch my ways, is it worth
There's no
it?
guarantee, dog. Only you could say that.
Okay, that's the answer.
Only you could say that. And even if she might even be sincere about it, and then get into it and can't make that and can't make she can't jump that chasm. But that's fair. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That she can't. I mean, but then you got to deal with that as it happens. There's no guarantees, man. There's never no guarantee.
Yeah, I get that. That's cool. I'm with all that, man. If she's not, I understand 100%. I'm 100% to go full throttle. I just need to make sure, as a fact, that there ain't no guarantees of shit. I can't convince that she ain't gonna turn crazy on me. As long as I do what the fuck I need to do, I'm pretty confident she's gonna be who she need to be.
And if she's not, then you leave and you go find somebody else.
I got it.
All right, family. I appreciate you calling, dog.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's so. Just let me say this. I mean, I'm looking at y'all. Couples Life said you can't game us, caller. I am Felicia says man he don't know himself. You can't fix toxic. I want y'all to understand something. What's interesting about everybody who's on the live and who's fucking with the live. This is what I see when you talk to me. Everybody that's listening to the live, right? this is how transparent it is to me when I do a consultation or when somebody's talking to me. Understand this. Every way that you guys could feel what I was saying was exactly what was going on, right? And all of y'all saw it, right? So what's crazy about that is that we have this intuitive level where we can see what's going on. And then if we're emotional, we make deals with ourselves, we make deals with our honesty, we make deals with our credibility, we make deals with our empathy on some other bullshit, but you ain't hiding it. You can't hide it. It's just, the honesty will come through. You can't lie but so long. So if you're honest up front, it's just something you don't have to deal with. Phone lines is open. I'm going to take one more call, and then we are out of here. I'm going to give y'all a chance to call in. But, I mean, it's just dope for me. It's really dope for me to see the comments and see that, you know, I want y'all to see what you're seeing. Because a lot of times, even when you're emotional and you're in your feelings and you're doing this stuff, because we all have moments of that. We have these moments of dishonesty, right? It's okay it's okay for this woman to say, yeah, I don't trust you and I don't want to give you that opportunity again. It's also okay for him to say, I don't have the trust. I've gone through things and I haven't been able to get past those things, and so I'm not ready for a relationship. What's not okay is the disrespect and the lack of credibility that you have to lying to somebody, to deceiving them. Because realistically, 9 times out of 10, if you said, listen, I get bored easy, and it's not you, I really care about you and I like you, but I'm not ready to do what you want me to do, 9 times out of 10, somebody will go, well, you know, if they don't have a better deal, 9 times out of 10, they're like, all right, well, you know, then now you might end up with her rocking out too. But at least there's a level of respect, so then things don't get crazy, things don't get violent, and it doesn't get out of hand. We can always choose to just leave the situation and move on. We can always do that. And then we leave with the respect of ourselves, our own authenticity, our credibility, our empathy. And then when we go to brush our teeth that next morning, we don't have to feel funky about how we treated people. All right, fellas, I'm going to shut it down, man. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget the consultations, DanteNero.com. Click on consult, DanteNero. Don't forget to subscribe. If y'all can, like and subscribe. Please subscribe on the YouTube. Subscribe on my page and the other page. If you're whatever platform you're on, if you're on Instagram, follow us on all Manschool, everything Manschool, everything Dante Nero. Yo, I love y'all, man. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution's being podcasted. Yo, I love y'all, man. Peace. Oh, don't forget the Patreon. If y'all really want to support this, the best way to support this, y'all can hit me in the Cash App, or you can hit me on my Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/manschool202. Man, I love y'all, man. We are out. Peace.